Everybody, they call me the governor, and I am here with this fine group of folks to talk about Fear the Walking Dead. And this episode was called Mother, and it certainly was one of those. So we are going to get into that. And before we get into that, though, let's have everybody introduce themselves. And we have a new face who is joining us. So I'll start with her. Jess or Seska says, tell us about you.
Oh, about me. I've been reacting for probably 6 years now. I think I just had my 6-year anniversary, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm excited to be here and to talk about Fear.
Awesome. Jazz?
Hi, I'm Jazz. I've been a fan of The Walking Dead since I was told I need to watch it, and I've been here ever since, basically. And I do social media here at Wizard World.
Awesome. Sean?
Hi, I'm Michonne. I have come into Fear the Walking Dead via Walking Dead, as many of us here. And I'm just here for the ride. And I also post reactions to YouTube inconsistently, but they come.
Sarah, aka Mama?
I am Sarah or Mama, either is fine. I do reactions to everything Walking Dead, venturing into Star Wars, and everyone go watch Invincible. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree with that. And of course, I am the governor, and I kill people because it's fun. No, I don't actually kill people now because I'm dead. So they kind of frown on that here in hell. But I'm also the host of the Governor Reacts on Fandom Spotlite, and I've been doing that for a few years now. And yeah, and we're going to have exciting things coming in August with a new season. But let's talk about this season of Fear and this episode, which is called Mother, with the extremely creepy performance by Mr. John Glover. Who had Easy Street vibes at the beginning when Alicia was there just having to listen to the voice? Who would have preferred Easy Street? Who wants to take that one? Jazz?
Oh, I was going to say, I prefer Easy Street, yeah. I mean, I'm a musical nerd, so of course I would have preferred that over some guy just talking over and over and over the same stuff till I break, basically.
Are you going to accept his word? Huh?
No, of course not. No.
Sarah, what were your thoughts on the captivity and the brainwash? We can even go a little further back because we got to see a glimpse of our dear friend Teddy in prison, which was a weird scene because, yeah, I figured the prisoner was going to turn into a biter after they executed him. But how did everyone else get bitten, and how did all the cell doors open? Was it a fire alarm? Was there a special alarm?
It had to be all hell breaking loose in the prison at the same time, because there is no way that he turned after he got killed and then somehow somebody was able to push the magic button and all the doors open. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was surprised that it all happened at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as the Easy Street thing goes, I think I made that comment. And I think I would rather listen to Easy Street too, because part of me thought that Alicia was going to crack, but not in a way that was joining what Teddy believes in, just like
That's
outright
what
crack.
I thought.
Like just outright crack, because
She was going to jump out that window or something.
Exactly. Like, oh my God, or do something. But yeah, the prison bit was crazy. I don't know. Like I said, before we hopped on stream, I was having an ADHD day that day. So the fact that this dude was actually going like for lethal injection at that moment just went right over my head. And when he walked in with that in his arm, I was like, oh, that's what we're going for. But yeah, all of that just blew my mind. Last week we said who all we wanted to die. Honestly, I take it back. I like Teddy. I want him to stay around for a little bit. So entertaining. Sorry.
Oh, he is entertaining, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to last too long.
Nah. Villains always have like some kind of shelf life, really.
That's
I know. Damn
I
it.
didn't think about Easy Street. Easy Street never, I was like, oh, so we're doing the mind programming attempt. Okay. I must be weird because I would literally just ignore the 2 sentences he kept repeating. I was like, can you please just shut up? He kept repeating the same two
Mhm.
sentences, and I started to tune him out after I heard it twice.
Mhm.
Well, I think there were probably other sentences. They just, because of editing, you only heard a couple. So, any other thoughts on the prison and the prison? Because it's basically two incarcerations that we saw at the beginning. First Teddy's, then Alicia's.
That man
And
was death row retracing his words on his notepad, looking at the picture of his mama on the wall, who he murdered, by the way. We found out at the end of the episode. I was not surprised what he was doing in the cell, and I kind of guessed it was his mom in the picture. But at the end, when he said it so casually, I killed her. I was like,
and what does that mean for Alicia that, you know, she reminds him of his mother?
ew.
Seriously, creepy vibes right there.
Let me hit the chat real quick. Here we are. Group of Gamers is here. This season's been amazing. And says, hey, Michonne, Sarah, Gov, and Jasmine. Oh my God, Jess, hi. It was all in caps, so I had to say it that way. And then definitely Easy Street vibes. Deborah Ulmer says she prefers Easy Street and says Teddy was always crazy. The apocalypse just amplified it. And Group of Gamers says, from an entertainment standpoint, stay crying. But all right, it just jumped all over the place. I just lost it. Okay. There it is. But from the point of caring for our faves, he has to go. You know, Teddy wants to kill everybody. So when Alicia figured out that they were going towards the old stadium grounds, who thought it was a coincidence? Who thought it was, you know, did anybody really think he wasn't trying to manipulate her?
Of course not.
Yeah.
He was absolutely 100% trying to manipulate her.
Yeah, there was no part of me that trusted him for a second in this episode. Like, he was up to something from the jump. And they just, can I just say, like, they had to make the crazy cult leader right. Like, there had to be an apocalypse for this crazy guy to be right.
Right.
Like, this just made it way worse.
I think he, you know, figured out pretty early on how strong-willed Alicia is. And, you know, like, I feel like the typical stuff he would use with other people to sway them or convince them it's not really going to work on her. So he had to get a little inventive, so to speak.
Well, he still didn't convert her.
No, but he tried.
Well, he definitely tried to get her to understand and let go of the past. And so who else had an oh shit moment when they saw Cole? Like,
when I tell y'all, I didn't know who that was. I am so serious. They stared at each other, and I'm like, she know this man. Okay, hurry up and say his name. And when she said Cole, it still never rang a bell. The entire episode, I looked at all those people's faces, and it was like I never saw him. I couldn't believe
I
that.
love the honesty.
I did. I'm not gonna even lie to you. And when he went to the stadium, I was like, have we been traveling for a long time? How is it that they can just keep going to all these places in fear?
Yeah.
Like in Walking Dead, once we gone, we gone. It's like we light years away. So I don't know how far we are away from the stadium. So the distance is what I was thinking about the whole time. How far away are we? Where are we?
yeah. Well, as far as Cole, he looked familiar. I'm like, wait a minute. You know, he doesn't look like your average thug. Mm-hmm. But I partially faked it, remembering him that well. But I gotta admit that.
No, I remembered him as soon as I saw his face. I was like, well, okay. I mean, his name left me for a second, but I think what I said in my video was, oh, it's Strand's boyfriend. So I did remember him. I did not remember Doug and Viv.
Him and Strand had a little thing? When? When was this?
At the stadium, at the little bit that we saw in like 4A of them at the stadium and like living their little happy life or whatever. Him and Strand and Cole just had a little thing. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say it was a full-on relationship, but you could tell that like they were soft on each other. Like they did like have a little thing going. And then it kind of got cut off when Strand revealed that he had like, if things went south at the stadium, he had like a truck full of supplies.
Yeah, the trunk. But yeah.
And Cole was just so offended by that. And I'm like, look at what you came into. You should.
Okay.
If you were mad at Strand, okay.
One thing about Sarah, she gonna remember somebody.
Yeah. It's funny, whenever Morales popped up in the main show, I knew exactly who it was just by like the side profile, and everyone was like, oh, you're faking it. I'm like, I was just at Walker StalkerCon doing a panel about how I thought he was going to be the crossover character. Trust me, I know who Morales is.
I remember Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he made an impression in the first season.
Mhm.
But yeah, Cole, I have to admit, I was not as clear, but I'm like, oh, Cole, yeah, I guess that's his name. I know I've seen him, but yeah, I didn't trust him.
But they slid in a few lines if people did forget. They were like, from the stadium, like say your mom saved or whatever. So you could still follow even if you didn't remember.
And it's a shame that, her mom saved all those people and they turned out to be assholes.
The episode being titled Mother, I was like, is Madison about to make her return? Because I still don't believe that she's dead. Even though I don't really want her to come back, I just don't believe she's dead. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what's going to happen. But would they really put it in the episode title? But no, it wasn't her.
Well, I did see, I've been watching on Amazon Prime, and normally I don't watch the teasers, but I saw one like 20-second one where Alicia's like, is it you? Like, is it really you or something? And when everyone was like, Madison, oh, it's Madison, I was like, yeah, she would be like on the ground, like passed out if it was her mom. So I didn't think it was that. I did think part of me wanted it to be Walker, Crazy Dog, or the one lady with the axe that Alicia met in 3 that we only got to see for like an episode. Yeah, the black lady with the axe with the short haircut. Yeah. I wanted to be her. So I thought that would be
like
cool.
her.
That's probably more obscure than Cole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jess, you look like you want to say something.
No, I was just going to say that I absolutely still to this day, I miss and love both Walker and Crazy Dog so much. So you just bringing them up, but it's not really pertinent to this discussion, but I love them and I miss them.
Speaking of crazy, fucking Dakota shows up. God damn.
Yep.
Wait, stop the press. Y'all, when that child got out that truck, I about screamed. I said,
I screamed. I did scream.
We just can't escape this little girl. She up to no good. I knew it. I literally knew it.
Well, I think when she showed up, she was like, I'm going to help Alicia and I'm going to show what a good person I am. And by the end, she was like, all hail the mighty Teddy. He is my sensei.
I do possibly, when I was editing, I was like, oh my God, fucking Dakota, like during my reaction, like, why is she buying into his bullshit? I will say when I was editing, there is a slight chance that she's pretending to buy into the bullshit. I think. Slight.
I agree.
Just because I think, I don't know.
I don't know, pulling a gun on Alicia like that.
Well,
I don't trust her. I can't trust her.
I don't think anybody can trust her.
No. I did have a moment whenever I was discussing, like in my discussion portion of my video, not reacting, I was just like a hot mess yelling at Dakota. But whenever I was talking, I was like, I realized that the only person that like is in our group, I don't really want to say she's in our group, that knows where Alicia is Dakota. Mm-hmm. So are they going to try and redeem her for that? Like, she's the only person that knows. So like, who would go to that hotel, know that they have a bunker, and be able to find Alicia? Like, would Dakota go back and tell the group?
I honestly can't answer that. I really don't know, because that girl just,
I don't know what to expect from her. Like, on one note, I hate her and want her to fall off a cliff, but I also understand why she's so messed up. Like, if you have a mom like Virginia.
Yeah,
I mean, say nobody ever taught me any of that.
Yeah, nobody really did. So like, I understand why she's as crazy as she is, but I don't know. I just don't know what to expect from her. I mean, she could go back and blow the whistle on everything, but
out of everything she said in the entire episode, that was the only thing that made sense. I'm not even the big "Ooh, John Dory," ooh." But her justifying murdering him the entire episode kept pissing me off more and more. I did what I had to do. He gave me no choice.
Yeah.
So,
Couple things in the chat. Phyllis 2284 says, I want Teddy to go as soon as possible. Sanjeev says they pulled a Morales ×3. Bringing back earlier people. Phyllis says Dakota has joined with Teddy, so she is not redeemable. And Sanjeev says, I haven't hated a character more than Dakota. Maybe Ramsey Bolton.
Wow. What love
So,
yeah.
Dr. Bratharin in that category, though, too. That's what I want to know. He was a pretty detestable little child as well.
The thing about Dakota, though, is I think if push comes to shove, she's a survivor. So if they threaten her, if she feels it's to her advantage, if Teddy is taken out and she's there all alone, and they're like, where the fuck's Alicia? She's going to be like, oh, she's in this big hotel over here. We need to go get her.
Yeah.
You know, I think she will give it up rather than, face possible incarceration of her own or getting killed. You know, people do stuff to survive. So
she's worse than Strand when it comes to that. You on somebody's side when it's convenient for you. She got that bad. Strand is like himself first and the greater good. That girl is just like, it's what I want and I will kill anybody else. Like, you found out how I was sneaking out, you must die. You found out I killed the person who found out I was sneaking out, die.
Going back to what you said, Michelle, when you were talking about how you were just like really like had it with Dakota when she was talking about I had to do what I had to do and whatnot. It got me thinking, like on the other show, we're on board with, people killing or the other people that are against our people because this is what they have to do. But we're just not buying it with Dakota because we all can't stand Dakota.
You killed what's the name because he found out how you were sneaking out. He didn't do what? Child, what?
Yeah.
John found out by accident and you just murdered him. Like, what? Girl. Oh.
No, I get what you're saying, but I just find that just kind of caught my thoughts there.
At this point, she's just digging herself into a hole.
Oh, yeah.
Just deep, just 6 more feet.
And the Strand slander, I get why people don't trust him, but Dakota, you're gonna talk about.
Let she who is without sin cast the first stone. And it's definitely not Dakota.
Exactly.
But I can see why Teddy's attractive to her because in the conversation, he's helping her justify what she's done in her mind. I think she's clearly has sociopathic tendencies. I don't think she has empathy for anyone else. And to get validation from Teddy.
Oh, they're two peas in a pod.
Yeah. Teddy is just like, oh, well, you had no choice. People don't accept what you have to say because you're right. This is the way of the world now. So, but I think in another situation, Teddy would consider her a bottom feeder, just like, Cole and his band of merry morons. So,
speaking to Teddy real quick, you know what confuses me with this man? His inconsistency when it comes to killing walkers. The apocalypse should just hit the fan. You are on death row.
Yeah.
And a walker comes in there and tries to eat you. You kill him, no problem. But one walker comes after you after y'all ran over a spike strip that they made and you couldn't kill that walker. Sir, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then on the end, when the walkers came after everybody was getting shot and ate up, he was killing walkers like it was not. What is the inconsistency? When we first met him, he acted like he couldn't kill a walker. I don't know. Do you know how to do it or not?
I think that's probably just part of his game.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what is for people.
Yeah, I don't know what's part of his game or not because like I did genuinely think that was his mother. And then it very obviously wasn't. Like he had no emotion whatsoever. He's like, oh yeah, it's not my mom. I was like, what? So maybe like in certain situations he could be like, Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
help me. Like I'm a poor, helpless person.
I think when the initial walkers attacked, I think he was trying to hold off Vita so that Alicia would come over and help.
Yeah.
And that would be a bonding thing. And then, of course, Cole
Right.
showed up. So later on, when it wasn't the case, but I have to say, his people fell to those Vitas so quickly, so easily. It's like,
So
how did they survive all that time? And it's like,
Mhm.
there weren't that many Vitas, and suddenly they're on them and they're eating them. Come on.
When I
You've
think I
lived this
said
long in the
same thing.
apocalypse and you couldn't take them out.
Scott being what was it, Vivian and Scott? When I
That's
tell you,
Doug.
it was like I had never seen these people before. Slammed against the car, getting eaten. I'm like, how did you live this long? Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
That was my thought.
It made no sense them getting eaten. So like, what y'all been doing all this time? Like, I don't get it.
Carol drunk would have taken all those Vitas out.
I know, right?
With a spoon.
That was just crazy. Now, I got some vibes. Well, let me just go to here. Deborah says Dakota's the worst. I think she's too far gone. We're not too far gone. Yeah, shut up, Rick. The Iraqi Monster says, I started to like Dakota again, but this time I want to flip her so bad. I'm not quite sure what you mean by flip. But speaking of flip, I mean, in the main show, remember when Lori drove down a road, hit nothing, and flipped a car?
Pregnant in the
I'm
dark.
like,
Pregnant in the dark.
Mhm.
yeah, and it's like, at least on this show, they hit the strip, and they didn't like flip, and I was like, on Walking Dead, they would have like flipped 3 times, the car would have exploded,
Knocked over 2 trees, killed a horse. Like,
yeah, another horse would have died. It would have just been horrible. I do like the realism,
Oh my goodness.
but when Alicia got put in that room, which I hope is a little bit bigger. I mean, I hope there's like, a hallway down to some food, maybe a
Mhm.
bathroom, because if they're just sticking her in there and leaving her there, she's gonna die. They're gonna come back and find a biter. But I got vibes from Terminator 3 when they tricked John Connor and his future wife into that. He was tricked by the Terminator to go into this bunker so that he would survive, so that he could be the hope of humanity. I got the same type of thing where Teddy was shoving her in there to preserve her so that she could be the hope, of the new beginning after he blew everyone to hell. So it was kind of interesting that I got a Terminator 3 vibe and Nick Stahl's in this friggin' thing. I wonder if it was his idea.
When he
But,
put her in there, I didn't understand what he was doing. When he put her in there, I was like, okay, so how's she gonna go to the bathroom? That's exactly what I said. When he left her, I was like, is he leaving there forever? Is he gonna come back? I'm just here. I have no clue what's going on.
I kind of got the vibe he's going to leave her there for a little while and then come back. Like he's another way of trying to break her, maybe.
Okay, I have no clue.
But that's just what I got off of it.
I think she's in a bunker to keep her from getting, killed by the missile that he's launching.
Right.
And what's this shit? One missile is supposed to kill what? Everybody? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Probably the people that Alicia cares about. So it's a pressing concern for her.
Right.
But what he envisions that this is going to do, I'm not entirely sure it will do.
And we know it doesn't affect anybody because they are still behind the times of the Alexandrians. So we know it doesn't affect them. Whatever
Sure.
happens here, whether he manages to launch his missile or not, is not going to affect Alexandria. So that is a problem when you're operating in the same universe in a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
And again, TV logic, it's just everything that was just unrealistic bothered me so much. You have Strand on the walkie. Why are you lollygagging? They're going to blow a missile in Galveston, Texas. That's what the key unlocks submarine. That's all you had to say. Rick Strand, can I trust you? Blah, 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 blah.
I know what the key does. Go find a submarine. Why
Like-
are you not saying what the key does?
Like, you had 10 minutes, girl, and you wanted her to agree, but I don't even know if Strand heard her because she threw it in on the end. And I'm like, girl, you had a long time. All you had to say was one sentence. As soon as Strand said hello, TV logic, I can't.
You just have to hope that he was listening, like, really intently. That would have sucked if all we heard on the other end was like, come again?
Right?
Oh,
What was that?
I didn't even know Teddy's people were on the way because when he was calling them on the walkie, they never said anything. Hello? Hello? We need roadside assistance. And then we never saw him on the walkie again until they just showed up.
Well, he kind of walked from down the street. He approached them holding the walkie. So I assumed that he had reached out to them while, Alicia was dealing with all the betas that were formed by this, attack. And, Dakota trying to recruit her to the Psycho Clause. So I figured he talked to them then, and then they were on their way. So she had limited time.
I was frustrated. I think the part that I paused and just like yelled about was the fact that there was a point where obviously I can understand keeping Teddy alive because he knows stuff and you need to know stuff to relay back to your people. But there was a point where obviously Dakota has said all that she knows. She can't get any information from her. Kill her. Just kill her. And then she pulls the gun on Alicia. I think that's when I paused and was like, why did you not just kill Dakota? And in the same note, like when Alicia is backing away, you are now facing the person with the gun. Just shoot both of them.
And you're a better shot than that little girl. I literally said that. You can end her right now.
I just have to keep
stringing it along. Did any of you all think Cole was bad?
I got vibes.
I said right before everyone came out, I was like, I hope Cole's not evil. And then I was like,
I was literally eating pizza and I'm sitting here laughing, talking shit, eating my pizza. I was like, what if Cole was bad? That'd be so fucked up. And I'm sitting here eating and I look, and when he turned on, I was like, oh shit, damn. Can we have anything nice, please?
right. Yeah.
well, it's also like she got the gun away from him once. I don't doubt Alicia's skills in being able to get a gun away from him again. But you killed Cole when Dakota was right there.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just killed Dakota. I mean, what, honestly, if you knock Cole out and bring him to your people, now that all his people are dead, what's he going to do? Kill all of you? Like, come on, you could have rehabilitated Cole. I'm going to be salty about that because I want Strand to have a boyfriend. But
There was a lot of times where I felt like Alicia could have easily escaped. They're sitting here fighting a group of walkers. I was like, you could just walk away right now. You have Cole's gun. Just run into the
run.
You could literally just run home to Morgan right now, and you're choosing not to. She had a few times she could have just sprinted away.
yeah.
Well,
or even
she
if it was
was
just him and
still.
Teddy. I'm like, girl, if you don't run away from that old ass man, even if you're not gonna kill him, leave.
I think at
Yeah,
that
but
point
she
she
was
was
still-
probably still trying to figure out what he was up to, so she had to stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as she got the information, she was about to kill Teddy and, be done with it. And then little Dakota had to be a little bitch and, pull a gun on her.
She took the
Damn.
walkie out of Teddy's hand, and he didn't even fight at all. She was like,
No, I do think that he just
So true.
adores her. I think he is just absolutely enthralled, fascinated with Alicia,
Yeah.
and it scares the shit out of me.
It's like his second chance with his mom in his eyes, which is so
Yeah.
fucking weird, but like, yeah.
Like the way he just looks at her, like his eyes are like just light up, like he's just like, wow, like you're so amazing. Don't
every
like it.
time they showed him staring at her, I was like,
Can you not? Yeah.
stop.
Well, is it because he sees like the psychopathic, sociopathic vibes in Dakota, or is it just because he's just weird? I mean, that's the question.
That's my same question. I'm like, what is his thing with younger women and little girls? Because remember what John's dad had all on the wall with all the little girls, and I was like, I don't know. It's getting weird. Every episode I say it's getting weirder and weirder.
Yes.
Sanjeev says that I thought Morgan would be keeping tabs on Dakota. How is this psychopath even allowed to go out on her own?
Yep, exactly.
I mean, I think when she escaped from Morgantown, no one was like, "Oh shit, we got to go look for her."
I guess
could
to be
get
fair,
hurt.
Morgan's going through his own crap right
They're
now.
like,
too.
"Oh,
He's kinda losing
darn."
it last time we saw it, correct?
What's that?
Morgan's kind of losing it again a little bit, right? Since we last saw him.
Yeah.
All
that's
Morgan
true.
thinking about is Grace.
Exactly.
But the
She's
last
a little distracted.
Dakota was locked. They only locked her up for like one day.
Right.
She had the big, literally, I'm talking about old school with the chain on her ankle to a big boulder, rock, whatever you want to call it. And that was only for like one day. Next thing we know, she walking around.
Well, wasn't their plan originally going to be to let Virginia and Dakota go? Because if that's the case, if she went, they were probably like, well, I'm not going to go find her.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they're gonna let her go. I don't know. I forget. I ain't gonna lie, I forget.
Well, the reason when people left Woodbury that I had them hunted down and killed was
Yes.
because they could go tell people, even if they didn't mean to, hey, there's a nice community here with all these people and they got all these resources. You should go invade them. That's why I went after Michonne. That's why Merle and his band of idiots went after Michonne. I mean, I should have sent better idiots, but that's why I didn't want Michonne going off on her own. I mean, I wasn't going to force her to stay, so I would have been concerned if I was Morgan and I saw that Dakota left, because she would go, and even if she wasn't planning, she'd be like, well, there's these people back there and you can go and invade them, and so yeah.
That tactic would work great for her. Great.
Yeah, so she would trade anything if someone threatened her life. It's like, tell me where you're from or I'll kill you. And she'd be like, oh, I'm from, let me write down the coordinates for you. You got a map? I'll show you exactly. And here's where, they don't really have a lot of guards. Go on in. Just let me go. The Iraqi monster says, Teddy is the Fear of the Walking Dead governor. Confirmed. I wouldn't go that far.
Teddy different.
Give us some time, maybe, but yeah, he's definitely on his own.
Yeah,
trajectory.
Teddy has grander and more psychotic plans than I ever had. I wanted my community to be safe. I wanted to be in charge because I knew what was going on. I wasn't going to let some National Guardsman try to take it from me. So that's why they had to go. And I was concerned about this community of Ricks being so close by that they would, try to take what is ours. So it was just a preemptive strike is what I was doing.
Right.
He wants to kill everybody, wipe them off the face of the earth, and then have Alicia be the fucking Messiah. I don't get it.
Yes.
We've had our cult leaders in Walking Dead on the main show, but he's very, very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about how he grabbed Riley's balls in 2 seconds? Please.
Oh, yeah.
That swift movement, please. It wasn't even in frame at first, and I already knew what he was doing, and it was so funny to me.
I think when I watched it, I would have to rewatch my reaction, but I was like looking away for a second, and then I and he was just like holding his ball. I'm like, what is going on here? What did I miss? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I went and watched like so many people's reactions just to see that part and see what everybody else said, because everybody is pretty much like either dying laughing or like what
That was me. I was the second one. I was like, what is going on right now?
Amazing what you learn on death row, huh? Wow. Is that what you got taught? Grab
Most
guys'
likely.
balls and he's not gonna, and he'll do whatever you want? Yeah, pretty much.
Very
You learn that
swiftly.
anywhere. Our dear friend, Jack, aka Group of Gamers, says, I think the missile idea is that it will decimate the area surrounding them and they won't have many threats around them trying to stop them rebuilding the new world. I don't know if that's even close to a good plan. My problem is, if it's a nuclear missile, there's going to be radiation. I mean, even a clean nuclear missile is going to have some residual radiation. So, I mean, yeah, I know it's going to probably eliminate threats around them and no one's going to come looking for their little bunker. But what are they supposed to rebuild? Rebuild underground? Rebuild, You know,
Well, I mean, he said that they were making a place, which I imagine is like the place that they took Alicia, right?
Yeah, that's
So
the
they
place.
probably have that
Mhm.
stocked with supplies. So that's the place that he said that they were going to stay for years.
Without
maybe
yeah,
so.
probably
He
years
thinks he's gonna
underground,
wait
waiting
out
for the
all the-
radiation levels to go down.
Yeah, I don't like how much does he know about that? I think we need
I mean,
Grace.
he is pretty old. He might not survive that long, you know.
he
Well, I
was
mean, his
locked
plan
up
is to
for
die.
30 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure he picked up a lot in jail. I didn't know
Well, if
he
his
was locked up
character's
that
as
long.
old as, you know, he is in real life, he's like 75 or 76 now. Because when I first interviewed him, he said, I'm 74 years old. I don't remember everything the way I used to. So if he's up there, yeah, he may not, especially in that world, he may not last that long.
I don't think he plans to. I mean, he fully planned on Alicia killing him. He wasn't even phased by it. He's like, oh yeah. Like she's
I
supposed
plan
to
Yeah.
do
to
that.
continue whether I'm here or not.
Yeah.
When he gave Riley the key, I got pissed off at Morgan all over again. Bitch, you killed everybody but him. You had one job, Morgan Jones. One job.
Well,
And y'all
life
know
is
I love
precious, my
Morgan.
ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
You had one job. Let me just kill everybody but they leader of their little group that's running around looking for this key. Oh, as soon as he gave Riley that key, I just got so mad at Morgan all over again.
Yeah, he could have avoided the whole thing.
The whole thing. Because Ted ain't gonna go out there and fight for the key. He gonna send somebody to go look for the key.
Yeah. Well, the reason he gave up the key is so the story could happen.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
I mean,
it's like
basically.
watching a pitch meeting. Well, why did they do that? So the story could happen. Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, I
Um,
mean, we have season 7, so he has to get the key back or something because they're not going to blow everyone up, right?
That's it.
We
No,
don't
season 7 is entirely Teddy. They're going in a
Just-
completely new direction. Listen,
it's
guys,
Alicia trying to
it's
figure
gonna
out
be
how to
great,
get out
yeah.
of the bunker.
it's the underground bunker.
Let's be real. I would watch that in Teddy's
Honestly, yeah.
kind of way. So
What is the room he put her in? Because it's not even a regular doorknob. It looked like it was a part of a ship.
Well, it's part of an underground bunker, so they have that. It's almost like an airlock type thing because I'm sure they have recirculating air down there because you can't bring in vent air from the outside to come in, not with fallout in the air, and it would just pull in all the radiation and kill everybody. So that is a sealed environment. I'm actually surprised they could hear, shouting through that glass because that's supposed to be
that's what
pretty
trips me
thick
up,
lead
too.
impregnated glass to keep out the radiation. So
Well, she
I
had,
know my
she had a
doomsday.
mic on.
what's that?
So we could hear. I said she had a mic on so we could hear.
I thought that she was
Really
gonna be beating on the
enunciated.
glass. Wait, what did you say?
What's that? Jess?
Oh no, I was just like, she really enunciated. She just
When she was
Look at
beating
him.
on the
Really good.
glass as he was walking away, I thought he wasn't going to hear anything and it was just going to be her screaming and no one hearing. But he heard her and turned around. I was like, oh, so he can't hear her.
Maybe there's a speaker system. Yeah. I mean, yes, they actually do use very small lav mics. So, maybe he was picking it up from that. Yeah, I do have to say John can be, one of the most sinister people in the world when he's playing that part. I mean, he was Lionel Luthor, for God's sakes, and he always had a plan within a plan. So, yeah, I have to say John did a really good job, and he's a creepy villain. I don't think he's better than the governor, but I'm biased.
Teddy is beyond calculated. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, he is anything that come out of his mouth, he's saying it. It's a part of his agenda. He don't say nothing just to say nothing.
Yeah.
He is very calculated.
Like I said, last week we were going around saying like who all we wanted to die. Last week was very dark for our panel. But I said Teddy because at the time he's just like, ew, creepy. I don't like the whole missing posters, like just like normal serial killer vibes, don't like. But in this one, I was so damn impressed. I was like, this dude was like 12 steps ahead of me. Like I did not see hardly any of that coming. And I was like, I hate to say it, but he's gonna be one of those villains that I really like. And I loved Alpha and Beta. I just have a thing for Beta. Love Beta. But Teddy, so impressed. So impressed.
I actually love him on the show. He's
Yeah.
he's such a different speed from anything
Yeah.
we've seen in the Walking Dead universe so far. And I'm like, damn, people like this really do exist. This is fucked up.
Yep.
He's like a dark Jedi with like the mind tricks and shit.
And this
Yeah.
suit and sandals combination with the socks is pissing me off. I can't take it. Nobody is going to bring it up, so I'm going to bring it up. It's 90 degrees in Texas. Sir, what are we doing?
Well, yeah, that's why he's wearing sandals.
I can't. With the socks and the
With
jacket
the socks.
and the shirt and the pants. Woo! I can't.
Now, in the main show at this point, even though they have the wondrous Eugene who said he could supply these needs, they have practically no ammo. They have a few bullets for Judith's gun.
It's good.
You know, they had a couple shotgun shells for Alpha's, you know, sawed-off shotgun. But in this show, they seem to have all the ammo in the world.
When
They're in
I don't know-
Texas.
I don't.
Yeah,
That's true. Damn, you're
and
right.
someone asked, but I'm thinking that might be it. Every other house probably has
Well, and
a
the fact that
stockpile.
how many years behind are we in this again with them too as well? So
Maybe half. Maybe
We are, yeah, half when we're like at when Rick left the main show. So we're like
Exactly.
5 years in.
so that's something else to consider. It being Texas and we're a little bit behind in this story with.
Well, yeah,
compared to the original.
ammo, modern ammo, if it's properly stored, can last over a decade. You know, in fact, it doesn't really degrade as such. The danger is as it gets older, the gunpowder might go inert, and then you're going to get a jam in your gun because it's going to fire and it's not going to fully expend the bullet, or that's your problem. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it going bad. It's not like gas, which goes bad like after a couple months, and they were using gas for years and siphoning off. You know, that was just ridiculous. But the ammo, but I guess you're right. I guess it is Texas. And, you know, anyone watching in Texas, how much ammo do you have in your house? We want to know. So we know where to go during the zombie apocalypse. Are we going to head down to Texas because, you know, we can kill you, bite our ass, and steal your ammo? That's what I want to know.
Don't mess with Texas.
Right. I was wondering if that was gonna happen when Alicia had the gun through the walker and it was super bloody. I'm like, this bitch better work. It better work. Kill Cole. It better.
I know.
It better work. I got scared because I thought I had like flashbacks to Home Alone. Please tell me y'all remember that scene when Harry had the gun and it was all greased up. Please tell me.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, it better
I
work.
remember that. Like that's one of my favorite movies ever. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think a revolver like that, you know, is a rather simple device. I don't think it would be gunked up that much. An automatic is more likely to jam because of all the biter guts. So revolvers are a little bit more reliable. So Jack says, I'd be interested to hear everyone's thoughts on where the finale will take season 7 and what everyone thinks may happen with Althea and the CRM. I think there must be a TWD tie-in coming soon. I mean,
Althea comes back and she's holding the helicopter ladder and Beer Lady's piloting it and she saves the day. There you go. Finale.
Waving like Miss America. Just,
Yeah.
I'm here, guys.
I brought Becca.
yeah, they're going to take out the sub. Do yourselves a favor and, you know, try not to look online too much because there was something that I didn't like.
Ears.
I didn't like about the description of the finale. So that's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
Okay.
I
That
never
might-
read that, so it's okay.
Man,
Well,
I've been so busy. I haven't really been online.
I usually check, you know, to make sure that I have all my information correct before I put out my
Yeah.
reactions. And, you know, I go to the episode guide to see what the actual episodes are called. And sometimes there's a little bit of a description. And it had something in the description. I'm like, wait a minute. That I hope that's, you know, it was a little vague, but
Not big enough.
but it also hints that maybe shit happened that we don't like. But I think
Everybody
season
does
7
get
is
blown up.
Oh
that?
my God, I was right.
Show just
The first line of it is after everyone dies.
Right.
Teddy comes
Alicia in
out
the
of a hole
bunker.
and says, "Well, see, what was that like? I was right. I just had to be patient."
I tell you, I have absolutely no clue where the show is going. I'm just here.
I
I'm here. And it's been a good season, don't get me wrong, but I'm just here. I don't know what's happening. I'm just here. All I know is Alicia is gonna still be in the thing or out the thing. Somebody need to get to Galveston, Texas, and I don't know where we are in proximity to get to Galveston. I don't even know where Strand is. I don't know how long it's gonna. I know no logistics, but this shit gonna hit the fan.
I mean,
Strand's obviously closer than Jude's hospital is, so it won't take him that long to get back.
Girl, first of all, she's all the way in. I don't even know. She's in. She could be in New Orleans. I kid you not. She's so far away. Girl.
No, I don't know. I mean, I imagine that Strand will be like, "Oh snap! I need to go sound the alarm for everyone." But I don't know what that will mean. And I mean, the last time we saw Al, if we're gonna, talk about her for Jack's question, she said that she was gonna go in search of Beer Lady. So is she going to be in these last 2 episodes? Like, is there maybe gonna be like the last minute is like some tie-in with CRM? I don't know. Like I said in previous panels and in like all my videos, I think Althea is pretty safe because she's the only tie-in with CRM that we have. So I don't really think she's in danger, because if she dies, like, who is gonna know all the stuff that she does? But I don't know if she really has a place in the final 2 episodes, because if Strand does sound the alarm and a lot of people go, like, I don't know who all would go in that situation. Like, I guess, like Dwight and Sherry, I'm trying to think, Luciana, Wes, like maybe they'll all roll up to where the sub is, but where is the sub? I mean, we know where, but there's a lot of
In Galveston, Texas. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
Texas,
but there.
so.
They showed it. It looked like the desert, but obviously, if it's beached, it has to be relatively in close proximity to
Just
the
run
ocean.
along the water.
Okay.
So they can narrow it down a little bit that way.
Well, I really don't know. Like, I don't really think everybody's gonna get blown up, but maybe there's a possibility. Maybe we're just gonna get blown up.
One thing that I would like to, this is like really random, but he's my favorite character, so I'm going to bring it up. But like, I want like some sort of like explanation or proof or whatever if Daniel got framed.
I
want to know about that.
Still confused about that.
Because, well, he's just my favorite, so I have a one-track mind. But that I would like something about that to be addressed. Like, if there is somebody that did frame, or if he, maybe not. But I'm a little
considering Daniel is with Strand right now. Strand could sound the alarm, and Daniel could be like, "We got to go. Like, let's go."
I know. I'm ready for Daniel and Strand to just go and.
Please.
I mean, I know that they obviously have their differences, rightfully so, like from the jump, but that's a power duo if I've ever seen one. I would love to see those 2 work together. They would get shit done. It would
right. And I don't usually have theories, but actually, since we still talking, I just thought about it. Remember when Strand was like how he's getting ready for the big fight? Like, so it's like Strand low-key got a little army somewhere that he just gonna pull up with.
He does.
Because he was like one of the heads out of all of Virginia's people. So Strand gonna fuck around and just pop up with him a little army and be ready to fuck shit up.
Because I mean, even if they take care of this weapon and defeat Teddy, they still have a whole community. And like, do they even?
But most of them think they're just going into a bunker to survive. Only a few of them know the plan of killing everyone else, according to Teddy.
but when you kill their leader, how are they going to respond to that? Because he's this great, all-knowing person,
and they don't even know what's going on. I was thinking about that too. When people was just coming off the bus, it's like, "Oh, we're moving to our new home." They have no idea that he wants to end the entire world.
Yeah,
right. I don't know. I don't think Daniel was framed per se. The only way he could be framed, or is if someone maybe drugged him, gave him something that would cause him to have these, to act out of sorts. And then, but I totally believe that he.
Well, I think some things he definitely forgot and stuff. I'm not sold on the gun situation.
Me neither.
Because I just don't. I think somebody probably could tell that he was forgetting some things or whatever, and thought that it was a decent scapegoat.
And maybe he left the arms shed unlocked.
Yeah.
So
I agree with her on that. Daniel has had a hard life, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was a little fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But forgetting that you physically moved an entire shed's worth of guns and hid them. Like, I could see you like forgetting like that you told somebody something, but I could see what you mean about that. There was literally an entire shed of guns. All the stock was just gone.
Well, I mean, when you have PTSD, you can forget whole events. Like, I was in a certain situation where I was grocery shopping with my husband. I had my daughter in the grocery cart. I had groceries in the grocery cart, and I don't know how to put this to where it's like PG. I saw someone that very traumatic from my past, was not expecting to see them. I blanked, and I was heading out the door with my child and groceries without having checked out before my husband caught me and was like, what's going on? Oh my God, what happened? So, I mean, he could have, but yeah, like it could have just been like the smallest of things that just like triggered him to do all that. So, I mean, it's a possibility, but they also said that it's because he was settling in and because he really liked this place. He wanted to keep it safe. So in this finale, if it's like high stakes, I don't see why he couldn't be involved, because he's very like hyper aware when it comes to situations like that. So I wouldn't count him out just because of like what could have happened with him with the guns.
Absolutely. We're just about out of time. I have one more comment that I want to read because this is going to be hilarious. And I want everyone to respond to this. Iraqi Monster asks, am I the only one who dislikes Sherry? She's so dramatic.
Did you not watch us last week?
Yeah.
Or any other week?
Yeah. You need to go check on last week because
watch the other 13 or however many we've been doing. I don't remember how many we've done.
Yeah,
she is at least the last two for sure. 100% for sure. The last two.
Yeah. Sanjeev said, watch the last panel, majority was rant on Sherry. Yes, absolutely. It was like, we want Sherry to like die, but only in such a way that it doesn't hurt Dwight, because we still like Dwight.
We still like Dwight.
Exactly.
And then in the end, they're like, we're just going to move on together. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe Sherry act like she got some sense next time we see her.
I mean, I kind of feel like the letter that was read might change the way she's behaving, but that's a matter to yet be seen. So
yeah,
I know if there's a chance. I'm hoping just because of Dwight, but we'll find out.
I mean, there have been characters we've hated a lot that have redeemed themselves and come back. Father Gabriel, we all hated him. And everyone except for Michonne, is pretty accepting of him now.
It was Dwight. I wanted Dwight to die. I'm talking about, I kid John, I never wanted anybody in this universe to die more than Dwight back in the day. He redeemed himself during all that war. I had it out for Dwight. I couldn't stand that man. He was dirty. Y'all go back and watch.
Yeah,
Dwight, Simon was way worse for me than Dwight. So
who was way worse for you?
Simon.
See, Simon was all fuck Simon. But yeah, Dwight was just like
all of them.
Yeah, we saw Dwight a lot, and
we did.
We should do a panel on just listing the characters that we really wanted to die the most throughout every season.
That next week. There's a break.
Yeah, that's a question.
Right. Sarah has made videos. Haven't you made like a couple of videos about people you don't like?
Oh yeah, I've made a couple because a lot of people don't understand like why I don't like Daryl, because they're like, oh, he's like a main character in the show. Why don't you like him? And I'm like, I have never liked him. It just so happens he is now a main character. So like I made a video. Some people are like, why don't you? I just like link it. I'm like, there you go. That's why.
I mean, I like Daryl, but I will say that I do know a few many people that do not like Daryl. So you are not alone.
No, I mean, that's really why I started making videos, is because I really like villains. I like getting inside their head, and like they're so intriguing, so interesting. And then there were a few main characters that I didn't like. And I mean, I was kind of online and people were like, oh, like you should do it, because I agree. I don't see anybody that like doesn't like this person or likes these people. So I jumped in to make them, and a lot of people that are like, yes, you made another video. Come hate him. Like, okay.
Alpha, yeah, Alpha.
I'm not exactly thrilled with Daryl. He's not on my exactly my good list. So yeah, I'm all aboard with that.
Leave me.
All right. So final predictions, or let's predict next episode. What do you think's going to happen? And then shameless self-promotion. We'll start with Jazz. Jazz.
So I'll just say this. I had a complete Carol moment while watching this episode where I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen in the most wonderful way. No, I have absolutely no predictions. I'm here for the ride, though. I know it's going to be good. And you can find me here at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also find me on my personal Instagram account, Jazzy Diva with 3 Z's.
Awesome. Mama.
My prediction for the next episode, power duo team up. Strand tells Daniel. Daniel and Strand go get Morgan. They go find the submarine and they take care of business. That's what I want to happen. And I am Mama Deadhead. You can find me on pretty much every social media at Mama Deadhead. And I'm just really excited for the rest of the season. I think it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Michonne?
My reactions are on patreon.com/Michonne Reacts. Of course, you need to go over there. And predictions for the next episode, I'm really hoping to get more into Teddy's head, because it's like the only thing his people know is what he wants them to know. We really don't know shit about this man. Like, it's a lot to him, and I really want to get into his head some more before he eventually get killed, because I don't know how long he's gonna be here. But yeah, that's just wishful thinking.
All right, Jess?
I guess I don't know if it's a prediction, but my hope is that Strand somehow proves himself to Alicia in some kind of way, like he's been kind of saying all season, and for her to have kind of faith in him. And that's what I really want to happen. I don't know if it will, but that's what I want. And yeah, I'm Seska Says on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
All right, cool. Yeah, I could see Strand being the one to open the door to release Alicia, and she just, gives him a big hug, so that could work. That could actually work really well. I definitely predict there will be a fight at the sub.
Yes.
And I don't think Teddy's plan is going to go off without a hitch. I think there will be hitches. But I don't think there may be some sacrifices. So steel yourselves, because this is like getting close to the end. Some people may die. So, but in this life, you either kill or you die, or you die then you kill. So what can you do?
I like Strand. Don't sacrifice yourself, Strand. Think about yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself.
Strand would never.
No, he's not the sacrificing type.
I just want to know what he's doing with Alicia in this room. He locked her in there, and I don't know why he locked her in there. I don't know what her.
He's saving her from the coming apocalypse that he's causing.
He said she's going to make the new world or start the new world. And I just hope it has nothing to do with her having children, because, he's weird. That's instantly where my mind went. And
that's where my mind went too. So
I had that thought too.
Yeah. I was like, please, no. I will cut this shit off. No.
All right. And you can find me on Fandom Spotlite on YouTube. You can also go to fandomspotlight.com. Fandom Spotlight's on Twitter and Instagram. We have a Twitch channel now. We even have a TikTok. So, there's going to be stuff coming on there too. So not exactly long videos, but yeah. And I think we're going to have a great time this season. I have to say this totally makes up for last season. Season 5 sucked, in my opinion. Not saying it didn't have some moments, but overall it sucked. But we will be back next week, and we will discuss what happens. And we've got some love from Mama Dead on that poster. All right.
Love season 5.
Right, excuse me. Can Luciana please get some more screen time? Because I'm so sick of not showing my girl. Please give her 2 lines. Please let us say a word.
Just 2.
All right. Well, hopefully
I'm
Luciana
okay.
will be the one who's like cuts Teddy's head off. So how's that? We'll do
I
that
still
for
want
you.
Alicia to take him out though, but
No, I think she'll be like, "You're not worth it," and then Luciana comes up behind and like cuts his head off.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That would work for me. All right. Thanks. Thanks everyone out there for watching. We will be back next week. And as Sarah said earlier, if you haven't watched Invincible, go watch that. And go to wizardworld.com to check out all their upcoming panels and one-on-one live chats that you can have with celebrities and all the merchandise. And we'll see you next week. Governor and his crew out.
This is John Glover, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Lionel Luther recommends it. Have some fun. Follow your fandom.